Hello everyone, once again welcome back to our channel. So in today's video is me again, Farahin and also JeeShen.
Hello.
Alright, so in this video what we're going to talk about, we're going to dive deeper into OTA Cross-Selling. So if your hotel face overbooking or maybe some of the reservations did not display on your PMS, you come to the right channel because we will dive deeper on what OTA Cross-Selling are. So without further ado, right, let's go to the first set of questions. What is actually OTA Cross-Selling?
Okay, so OTA Cross-Selling is I'll call it an evolved versions of online travel agencies. Okay, so if you look back into what leads to OTA cross-selling. Okay, first in the era of 2008, a lot of new online travel agencies came. Starting year 2000, right? There's a lot of online travel agencies like Agoda, Bookings.com, right? They go into the market in somewhere 2005, right? Then eventually there's a lot of online travel agencies because of those success, right? Like Agoda, Bookings.com, Expedia, a lot of them went public, right? And yet the number of customers is the same, right? And they are just using different channels, targeting different customer segments, right? But now what happens is that there are new brew of online travel agencies. For example, very localized online travel agencies with very specific language they put on their website, or maybe mobile app first online travel agencies which they no longer go for the websites but they rather provide the bookings facility on their mobile app, right? Okay, so this brew of online travel agencies is what I call the new ones, the younger breed, right? So they eventually wanted to reach out to the specific customers. They also sign up to hotels, right? Now, with so many online travel agencies, some of the travel agencies enter certain markets. For example, some of the online travel agencies from Indonesia, they come to Malaysia, they want to promote their platform to Malaysia hoteliers, at the same time promoting to Malaysia travelers. Okay, so and there's always a demand and supply that we talk about on online travel agencies. As a new OTA, I have to bring on the supply, which means I have to get the hotel to sign up on my platform so that I would be able to sell right on my platform. Demand means I have to find a way to reach out to the potential travelers so that they will book on my platform, right? So it's always a demand and supply. Now, what we are talking about online travel agencies cross-selling, it's something happened along the line. Okay, if you notice, if I'm a new OTA, if I don't have supply, in the old days, I have to go into hotels and get them to sign a contract, right? But in the new ways, I may not need to reach out to hotel. I may go straight to, say, Agoda, tell them, hey, I have this platform. Can I get the supply that you have, but I sell it through my channel? Okay, if you remember what happens to the latest recent news where Mars Airlines flight is available on AirAsia, it's the same thing, right? So Mars Airlines put their flight seats on an online travel agencies, and then they have their seats distributed through GDS, and AirAsia as an OTA bring on the supply on their app to sell. So basically that's how they get the supply, right? So for hotel rooms it's the same thing. So you first, if you understand that as a concept, you knew that nowadays supply no longer need to be acquired manually, right? I can actually have a B2B deal with a big players, then I have the supply that I need. Okay. Now on the other side, if I turn the table, now I have as a new brew online travel agencies, I get customers to book. Okay, now as a customer, you book on my application. For example, my online travel agency brand, right? And you, as a customer, you recognize my brand, and I receive the bookings. And what happened is that as that kind of arrangement, I do not have an arrangement with the hotel, right? I would not send the bookings to the hotel because that will surprise the hotel because they do not know I'm even exist. They don't even have a contract to sell on my platform. So what happens is that I will have to send those booking notifications to my supplier, the so-called supplier who supply me the room. In the case where, for example that I use the supply I get from Agoda, I have to tell, okay, I receive a booking because of your supply, and now with your contract with the hotel, you have to inform the hotel that the hotel received a bookings. So because of that arrangement, right? So sometimes as a hotel fund, that's what you get is that you have a customers who came to you, say they book with your hotel from brand ABC. But when you look into your PMS, and you can't even find any bookings for that OTA brand because you do not even have a contract with them. So that is OTA Cross-Selling, right? So you will receive the booking information if you are using Channel Manager from the supplier website instead of from the distribution. Yeah, so I'm not sure if there's any easier way for us to explain cross-selling. But if you notice guests coming to your hotel with the booking ticket that you do not have an agreement with the platform, very likely OTA cross-selling is happening.
Okay, I understand. However, it's a bit complicated. I believe from the hotel side, right, they might be confused when they first come across this kind of reservation, right?
Yeah, so as a solution provider, right, so even ourselves also sometimes puzzle when a hotel say, hey, I do not have this contract with the OTA, how my guest would have the ability to book. So after a lot of research, checking, digging, and we found out there was actually a B2B deal between this OTA. They are distributing the room, and the guest bookings eventually get into the PMS, but recognized as a different booking source, right? If compared to where the guest booked.
So, okay, in this, if let's say cross-selling happens in this situation, right? How the commission is calculated? Because I believe that different OTAs, different commission.
Okay, so from the hotel perspective, right, the cost of the bookings, it's based on the contract they have with the supplier, right? So how much it costs for the supplier and the actual platform where the guest book, that's between them. The hotel would not know, channel manager would not know, but from the hotel perspective, it is always based on the agreement and the contract they have with the supply OTA.
Okay, so the new good OTA will only sell the room, but any agreement, anything that happens, it will follow as what the hotel agreement, original agreement with the supplier OTAs, right?
Correct. So we internally at Softinn, we always use this term like OTA who supply. We call that the supplier OTA. The OTA who distribute, it's basically where the guests make booking. So supply, distribution.
Okay, understand. Alright, so as complex as it seems, right? I got this question, and I believe the hotel out there also asked the same question. Why actually this OTA do the cross-selling?
Revenue. Right? So imagine I'm a platform and I want to bring you more bookings, right? So one of the way is I distribute to my members, my customers, and the other way I could have other OTAs helping me to distribute the rooms, right? So I would get more bookings and I get to charge the commission, right? So it is always the transactions the OTA are making money, right? So the more transactions, they make more money. So whether it is B2B deal, B2C deal, it doesn't matter for them.
Is there any way for hotels to check in their platform, like if there are any other cross-selling that they can be prepared when those reservations come in?
That's a good question. As far as I know, there is no indicator on any platforms that says they are distributing the hotel supplies to other OTAs. But I knew some hotels who reach out to their specific OTA. They get to find out whether their hotel rooms get distributed that way, right? And certain OTAs who are doing that, they call that cross-selling and B2B deals. There's an option for hotels to turn it off, provided that you speak to the right person in charge. Yeah.
Okay, understand. So I think this is a really tricky new, right? So for you, hotel manager and hotel staff, if you encounter this kind of situation on what you described earlier, guests receive on different platform, but you actually receive on different platform. Luckily, this is what we're talking about right now. So make sure to go into your channel, manager, go to each channel, go to each platform and try to explore if let's say you have this question. So
I got asked this question, right? Whether the hotel care about this. I can tell the hotel owner probably don't care, simply because the more bookings mean more customers, higher occupancy. But who care more is the front desk, the front office. Because imagine a guest came to you with a ticket that you can't recognize, you can't search in your, you can't find it in your PMS. It is creating a atmosphere between the front desk and the guest where it is tension, right? As a guest, I book. There's nothing wrong with what they do. They eventually book. But from the front desk perspective, also they did nothing wrong, but they just can't find it easily in the PMS, right? So that's why we did a lot of work on our PMS and even make kiosks have the ability to check in guests who book using this cross-selling channels. So yeah, I mean, I think like this is the current state of how hotel rooms get distributed.
Okay, it's really a new breed of OTA channel platform, right? So is there any way for hotel to actually, is there any like what we call the standard way for hotel to find this kind of reservation? Maybe from ID reservation number or guest name?
So if the hotel use our channel manager, they will get through bookings number 1 from the supplier. We call it the supply OTA. It will appear on the booking source number. And the other one, additional booking information is booking reference number. So booking reference number is the booking number guests received from the distributing OTA.
That's the information. So make sure to note that down. So if you encounter this situation and you're using our channel, this kind of the solution that you can do at the moment. So okay, thank you so much, Jason. That's conclude on our discussion for today's topic, which I believe is very new and I learned a lot from you regarding this topic. Alright, so that's it, hotel out there. I hope you can learn a lot from this topic. And the next step is
if you encounter OTA cross-selling at your hotel and you have something to share, some new insights, feel free to drop in the comment area. So share this video, you know, to get the news out and get the information out.
Okay, agree on that. So this is a new topic, right? If you have new information, so do share with us. We really love to know about that. So until then, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye bye.